Willkommen, bienvenue. Welcome to another show. The keen-eyed amongst you will notice in the virtual studio, Karen Bashford, the Empowerment Mentor, and myself, Gareth Wax of the Many Purple Hats. And we talk about topics that can affect you on your daily life. And one that's come up that affected both of us, funny enough, is nothing to do with spirituality. It's nothing to do with what you believe or how you feel or vibrations or any of this. It's pure physics, dare I say it. And that's to say blue light. We all these days seem to spend an awful lot of time in front of the screen. And Karen, your experiences might be worth hearing about, actually.
Yes, it was a bit of a shock to discover the other day that I was looking at the screen and it was going all blurry and I was having things floating across my eyes and it was like, what the hell's going on? Because obviously eyesight is vital for what I do, but also to be able to drive. So to suddenly find my eyesight disappearing in front of me, basically, with floaters and not being able to see the screen properly, was a bit of a concern, to say the least.
And the thing is, I spend a long time in front of the screen every day. I do quite a lot of live streaming, both with Karen and elsewhere. And it's part of my job. I have to be here. It's not like I can go, well, I'll use the screen less, because that wouldn't work. So we needed to find a way to mitigate the obvious damage that we're doing by sitting in front of this screen. So, Karen, what did you find? What have you found that seems to have really made quite a dramatic difference?
Well, basically, it was like my eyes were red, very bloodshot, itching like hell, burning almost like, and it didn't ease even after a night of sleep. So it was like, what is causing this? But there has to be something. And I don't suffer from hay fever, so it wasn't hay fever. So right. I started to do a bit of research. Now, I was conscious of the fact my eyes had been playing up for a while. So I'd gone around and treated myself to some eye drops, vocal eye drops. But I also treated myself to a homeopathic remedy. I can't pronounce the name, but it's basically eye bright, which is a plant which has been diluted into a tiny tablet, which is a homeopathic remedy. That allows your body to recognize that your eyes need support, and eye bright will help your eyes. So both of them, both the drops and the tablets, were supporting my eyes. But there was obviously something that was triggering the problem. And basically what most of us do not realize is the amount of blue light that comes off of our computer screens.
Really? Really?
Yeah, there's serious amounts that come off. And obviously, the longer you sit in front of them, the more damage you're going to be doing to your eyes. And even though I was getting up and wandering around, I was actually looking out the window and things like that. The amount of time I'd been sitting looking at my screen, just the same as you, was damaging my eyes. So I had to do something about it. So research indicated that eye bright will help, and I've now got something called eye bright colloidal eye drops, and they've actually got eye bright in it.
Right.
So I can use this as a backup.
But it's got silver colloid in it, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
Then I've heard something about this. This is supposed to be something really
amazing stuff. It really is. If you've got a wound and you dab it on it, it can heal it in such short space of time in comparison to anything else. So it is really, really good.
Right. So having started using this, but also the screen.
Yeah. Well, that is the one thing that has really made the difference. Research indicated that you can get a screen that goes in front of your screen that stops the blue light from coming through as much. Now, right. I ordered it from Amazon, lovely Amazon, because I live in the middle of nowhere. So I wanted to be able to get it quite quickly because it was getting to the point where I could hardly see my screen at times. So I ordered myself a premium screen protector from Amazon. You can order it quite easily. I can't remember the company who does it, but anyway, it arrived up on the screen. Within less than an hour, I could feel the difference in my eyes.
Isn't that amazing? I'm sorry, it's very rare that you can apply a change to one's life and get such, I would call that almost immediate result.
Yeah. And I've used it now for a day, and I've lost that itchy, burning sensation in my eyes.
Well, you were worried we weren't going to be able to do the live stream. You weren't going to be able to see the screen properly.
I wasn't going to be able to see. I can't drive if I can't see. And I was literally getting to that point where my eyesight was going fuzzy. That's how serious it had become.
So, I suppose, look, if I can just pull out for a second and just think and just say, looking at this in the round, oftentimes when we're presented what seems to be almost like a doom and gloom perspective, if you pull back a little bit and think, if it's happened to me, it's probably happened to other people too. There's probably a solution of some sort out there. And I mean, amazing, this one works pretty damn quickly, but going forward, this will protect your eyes, right?
Yeah, as I say, within an hour of using it, my eyes have stopped itching. I used it all yesterday, and the difference in my eyes today, I have not got that massive red eye look. I haven't got itchy eyes. I haven't got burning eyes. And my eyesight is considerably better. I'm actually seeing the screen better than I have done. Yes, it's going to take some time for the floaters to go, because that basically says my eyes have been burnt by the blue light and now they've got to repair. But at least the body being the miraculous thing it is, if you give it the chance and you give it the space and the time, it will repair, right? Absolutely. And I can already feel the difference. I can see definitely better than I have done. Even just looking out the window, I can see there is a difference in my eyesight. And that is vital to me. And that's why I'm so grateful that I discovered this blue screen cover. Amazing. And it doesn't change your screen.
Right.
It might alter the colours slightly, but I don't care about colour as long as I can see it.
Oh, so I'm going to, on the back of what, because I get sore eyes after long periods of time, and I'm thinking that it's probably there's cumulative negative effects from doing this day after day after day. So something like this. So what Karen's promised to do is, because she's going to point me in the right direction to help me. I'm going to take some of the same things she's doing, and hopefully, because I do so much work in front of the screen, and I'm saying, I guess what today's podcast is really about is you can take preventative measures now before it gets to Karen's point.
If you just sit in front of your screen, even for an hour or two, you consider how much blue light is impacting your eyes. That is damaging light. We cannot see it. It's a bit like staring at the sunlight and sun and expecting your eyes to be fine, because the power of the sun is so powerful. That's basically what you're doing to your eyes. If you're sitting and looking at a screen, you're creating this light that's coming directly into your eyes and impacting the back of it, which is where your sight is actually at.
Yes.
So why would you want to do that?
So for the sake of what is effectively a simple filter and doing a little bit of self-care. Yeah. And
save your eyesight for when you're old.
Well, yes, but even so, I think there's an allegory for this, which is almost don't assume that nothing can be done. Don't think, well, this is me now. You know, there have been times in your life that you've told me, well, while you were in it, you might have thought, well, I'm stuck here. That's all there is. But when perspective evolves and you realize that there are other people who have effective solutions that you can use that would help you. It doesn't matter whether it's a physical situation like this one is, or even an emotional one. There are methodologies you can apply that will help you recover your position or even create a brand new one. Maybe this is a stretch for me to link the two, but I think it's amazing.
I feel better because I'm not now worried about my eyesight.
Which you were, yeah.
Drastically, because it will impact my whole life. It will stop me being able to work. It will stop me being able to drive. And I live in the middle of nowhere. If I can't drive, I can't go anywhere. It's as simple as that. So can you imagine the stress that it was creating in me? But I couldn't stop looking at the screen because I've got things ongoing that needed to be finished. So I was in the catch-22.
Which I might point out that most of what you do is very visual.
Yes. So I had no option but to keep going. But the longer I kept going, the more damage I was going to be doing. So I had to find an answer. Right. My whole attitude is there's always a solution to a problem.
And that's what I'm driving at here. That's what I'm driving at here.
There's always a solution, whether it's emotional, physical, mental, spiritual. There is always a solution. You just have to be willing to research it, ask questions, or be prepared to just be open to be guided to where you need to go for the answer.
And not to let it go and assume that's all there is now.
Oh God, no, never do that. Never, ever.
I know a lot of people like wallowing in apathy and say, that's it, I'm done. I'll just accept the fact that X, Y, and Z is going on in my life.
That's their choice at the end of the day. But I'm sorry, I don't see the point of doing that because you've only got one life. Make the most of it. Sorry, that's my reality. I've got one life. I want to make the most of it. And being able to not be seeing anything is not going to be making the most of it.
No, and sight. I don't think until you have the threat of having it taken away from you, you don't realize how much sight plays such an important role in your work, your rest, and your play. It's the attitude of there will be a way that I can manipulate this to my advantage in a positive manner so that I come out on tops and I'm protecting myself from going back down that route again. I think that's an allegory for some of the work you do.
Yeah. If you don't protect yourself, how are you not going to repeat the same problem?
There you go. See, I knew there was a way I could link it all. But it's the truth, isn't it? A lot of what you do is when you're teaching ladies how to think in a different way about the problems that they face, such that they don't keep jumping into the same crevasse.
Because I used to do it. I used to jump into that abyss that has no bottom.
Yes.
Until you actually start deciding that, no, I'm not prepared to do this anymore. You can't change anything. I'm not prepared to run the risk of losing my eyesight for the sake of not having a screen in front of my laptop screen. End of story.
Right.
So, yeah.
All right. I'm going to do my usual thing, I'm afraid. I want to talk a little bit about the podcast. I do this every time. I'm sorry, everybody, if this is boring, but I'm very passionate about it. So, dear Karen here, the first things first. If you want to find out more, if you want to start your wellness journey, then I suggest what you do is you go and visit KarenBashford.com. That's a very good place to start. But so KarenBashford.com, just put that out there. It's a really good place to start. She is a person who's passionate about finding ways in which you can manage your life. And that leads on to the Empowered Women Life Leaders podcast. KarenBashford.podbean.com. I think that's a particularly good place to go as well. It appears that someone's just got married. Is that right?
Sounds like it.
Lovely.
I live next door to a church.
Oh, I was going to say it was very quaint. It's quite rather lovely sort of soundscape there. And also to make it even easier for you. Yes, I've made it even easier for you. If you see on the top right-hand corner, there's a QR code. And yes, it's misspelled. Yes, I do need to fix it. Apologies, Karen. It's got an extra hyphen that shouldn't be there. It will be gone. But what I would point out is if you follow that QR code, it'll take you straight to the podcast, which is now available on your YouTube channel, which I need to put on. What is the YouTube channel, Karen?
Empowered Women Life Leaders Podcast.
There you go. You see?
Very simple.
Very easy. That's what it says on the tin. Lovely. And they'll see the audio version is slightly more edited, but the video version, you'll see her talking straight to you, dear audience, to you, helping you battle your way through life, so that it's less of a battle and more of a lovely journey. All right. And on that note, I just want to thank all of you for dutifully watching this. I hope you're enjoying it. Please do carry on. There's plenty more where that came from, and it won't always be about blue screens and so on. But it was an important thing that had happened, and I think we both felt it was important to draw your attention to it. There are ways around these things, you know. We have the technology, to quote the Bionic Man. Anyway, so moving swiftly on. Thank you so much, Karen, as ever.
Thank you.
Well, I always learn a little bit from these things, and you always teach me a little bit, and I'm thankful for it. And hopefully you guys are learning some of this vicariously through me as well. Until next week, please keep your feet on the ground. Keep reaching for the stars. Who knows, you might catch the moon. And do try and look after your mental health. Until next week, goodbye.
Bye.